All right, welcome back, everybody. I want to welcome all of you guys to our Saturday event and truly appreciate your guys' time. And of course, everybody's excited. But after the excitement, after you make a decision to get started with us, and on literally the best day to get started, which is the beginning of a qualifying period, which we're going to cover right now, what that is. I just want to tell you guys, welcome to the team. You're part of a family now, and we will never give up on you as long as you don't give up on yourself. And we're going to help you get from where you are to where you want to go, whatever your financial goals are, your health goals. Maybe you're looking to be a part of something that, there's so much bad happening right now. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it, but there's just a lot of doom and gloom happening everywhere. Isn't it kind of refreshing to be a part of a team and a family where everyone's positive and rooting for each other and backing each other up? So that's what you get here when you join our VISI Ohana. And if you're not from here, Ohana means family. Come on, we all saw Lilo and Stitch, but you are really, truly part of a family. And we got each other's back, guys. So I just want to let you guys know that I've had the same cell phone number since 1997, and that's never going to change as long as I can help that. And we're available to you guys all around the clock. So please reach out as we go through this process of building this company, building your team, building your business, building your income. You're never going to be by yourself. You're a business for yourself, but you're never going to be by yourself. And a lot of people come up to me when they first get started. They're like, wow, Tommy, you guys have built all these different companies and platforms and created lifestyle, and you guys have the track record and the results, but I want that for me. So knowing what you know, with all the mistakes you've made in the last 29 plus years, could you coach me and tell me exactly what I need to do so I can achieve my goals? And if you have that kind of a coachable attitude, I could promise you guys you're going to go far. The other thing you're going to have is a work ethic. And we're going to cover just some bullet points today. It's not your typical Saturday training. We're going to cover some stuff for you guys today that's going to be life-changing for you. So, and it's here it comes in the next few minutes of time. But first things first, once you get started, you got to familiarize yourself. Log on to your back office, update your personal information, right? All of your, info, your emails, make sure everything is right, make sure your subscribe and save or your auto ship is in place so that you never flush your points. We'll talk about that. If you got involved with Broadcast Pro, the Forex, let's start setting that up right now. If you're into the NFTs or both, let's start setting up that process and doing your verification of your email, setting up your MetaMask wallet. In other words, you're not going to go through this alone. Talk to a leader, talk to one of our executives. We're going to sit with you. We're not going to do it for you, but we're going to sit with you. We will be the parrot on your shoulder going, press that, do this, you know what I mean? And we're going to literally walk you through this. Also, download Telegram. Okay, Telegram is a free messaging app. Put it on your phone right now. Create an account and join the necessary groups. Get together with one of us, which will add you to all the necessary chats, whether you're on mainland, whether here in the island, and the corporate, our team chat, and so on and so forth. So also, we're all over social media. You might want to start following some of our beside pages and groups. We are part of Team Limitless. Okay. So that being said, first things first, everyone always asks, Tommy, what is the biggest thing that I got to worry about? What's the one thing that makes the biggest difference of whether I have a big success or a little success? That is your mindset, and that is your why. What do you mean your why? Why are you doing this? And we're all different. We're all different, guys. Some people are literally doing this just for money. Like, so we want to make money. Some people don't care about money. I have a lot of friends on our team. They're worth millions and millions of dollars. They're not doing this for money. They have tons of money, but they love helping people. Some people just want to be a part of something positive and be a part of a winning team. Some people are all about health. They're like, Tommy, my health is really bad right now. In fact, it's life-threatening to me. And if you guys got some products can help turn my health around, if I get a health benefit, I'll share this with every single person I know. And I'm one of those people too. I'm going through it as well. Okay. And maybe you just want to lose weight. Maybe you just ate too much in their Christmas season and January and all those New Year's resolutions are gone now, and you just want to get in shape. Hey, if that's you, welcome to the right place. Okay. So, but we have to determine what that why is. We have to clearly identify why that's going to be your action motivator. Okay. Now, some of your guys' wives to come along on that cruise with us. And I already showed the video earlier. I won't show it again, but guys, Norway, the Norwegian fjords, guys, it's going to be absolutely life-changing for us. Okay. So when it comes to mindset, I am going to give you guys a very special mindset today. You know, some of the basics are thinking like a business owner, not like an employee, thinking long-term versus short-term, you know, having that sense of urgency. The biggest, hardest part about getting started is getting started. People procrastinate, whether it's a diet, joining a gym, or changing your financial income. Guys, all that stuff is basics, but it's so funny to me that common sense is not common knowledge. You've got to let go of your past. So many people are like, you know what, Tommy, I tried this network marketing before. I joined New Skin. I did Herbalife. I sold products. I sold services. So did I. So did I. For over 29 years. I did it, guys. I'm a 7-figure earner in the industry. But you know what? None of those companies I ever built, not a single one, is anything remotely close to this. Never in 29 years, and I believe in the history of the industry, which is over 100 years, I would ever seen anything like this, where I can sign up somebody into one of our vehicles, whether it's Forex or NFT, and show them how to profit month after month. They didn't build a team yet. They didn't go to a bunch of meetings. They didn't have any training. They don't know what's going on. They don't know foot from ass of what's going on, but they're profiting every month. Never, ever have I seen something like that. And you know what the magic secret serum is for that? Imagine you had a whole team of people that don't know what's going on, but they're excited as hell because they're profiting every month. Their belief is through the roof. Their credibility is through the roof. They don't know what it is, but they know it works. See, guys, that alone will build a massive organization. That alone will organically, people can't be quiet about something that good, right? So I'm just telling you guys, we are in for the ride of our life. And to make this all come into something you can take with you, something that will literally change your life, we're going to switch gears today. Today, I got a very special surprise for every single one of you guys. And this is something that took me these 29 years to put together. Okay. So if you're not taking notes right now, I would highly recommend for you guys to take notes. Okay. And if I could sum up 29 plus years into the next 15 minutes to give you the most ultimate mindset of why should we do VISI? Tommy, I'm busy. Tommy, I got so many things going on in my life. I got 101 problems. Why would I deviate or carve out any amount of time, energy, resource, or assets to devote to this company and this team? Okay, you want to answer to that? Why? Why VISI? Here's why. Most people have a desire to make life-changing income. My mentor said, Tommy, if you try 100,000 times to ever learn a living, all you're ever going to do is earn a living. You know, I have a dear friend of mine. His name is Mr. Al Thomas. He's in Las Vegas. He is a real estate mogul. This guy's not banking. He owns a bank, okay? When I met him at a young age, I mean, the guy had over 400 properties, not little, like houses, like properties, right? And I asked him, and I was like, Mr. T, teach us. You know, we're all just a bunch of kids. How do I become wealthy? I want to live a lifestyle like you. He says, there's only 2 rules to getting rich. There's only 2 rules to getting wealthy. And I want you guys to write these 2 rules down. The first one, he said, you got to stop listening to broke people. Isn't that funny? Stop listening to broke people. If you wanted to learn how to be good at science, who would you ask? Like your beautician? No, ask a scientist. You want to get good at math? Ask a mathematician. Don't ask me how to be tall. I can't help you there. I'm 5'5". You wanna get buff? Don't ask me. I'm not a buff guy. Go ask somebody that's ripped in shape. Doesn't that make sense? But it's so funny that humans are funny. We take advice from people that have the same problems as us. We take advice from people that don't have the solution or the result versus seeking for the advice from somebody that has that result. So ask yourself the second rule, number 2, where are you getting your advice from? Is somebody telling you something? And always check them, like, do you have the result? Right? So guys, 2 simple rules. And a lot of times, as we join something like VISI, and then we're all excited, we get started, we go home, we talk to your brother-in-law or spouse, you talk to somebody in your network, one of your best friends, and they're just Mr. or Mrs. Negative, right? They think it's one of those. They've never accomplished anything in their life, but they've got 152 reasons why this won't work. Isn't it kind of funny? Negative people have negative bank accounts, but can you blame them? No, you just got to expect that. Here's the reality. 95% of people in the world, okay, are paycheck to paycheck. 95% of people in the United States, I take that back. In the world, it's probably bigger than that, okay? Even if you earn $40,000 a year, 40,000. You're in the top 1% of money earners in the world. That's the real. The United States, no, but in the world, absolutely. Okay. But out of that, in the United States, 95% of people are paycheck to paycheck. 5% of people are financially independent. Okay, we're not going to get into specifics. 95.5. 95.5, that's the ratio. Every year, the insurance companies of America do this research, and it never changes. Year after year, 95.5. So a lot of people think, hey, Tommy, I go talk to my best friend, I talk to my wife, I talk to my husband, I talk to my whoever, my coworker, and they're not interested. Before I even started talking, you're like, yeah. Why? Because we can't change this ratio. 95.5 is about 5%. That means if I go out there and I talk to 10 people, how many of them get it? I mean, how many of them like get it? I'm like, let me show you how to make residual income. Let me show you how to profit every month. Let me show you how to leverage your time, leverage your money. If I talk to 10 people, keeping that same ratio, 95.5, 95.5, how many of them get it right there? The answer is 1? No. If you say 1, I want to know what high school you went to. It's 0.5. It is a half a person. It's not even a whole person. And sometimes, I don't know if we're talking to the right half, the top half or the bottom half. Sometimes we're like, excuse me, are you interested in getting financially free, right? So the reality, we're joking, but the reality is you need to talk to 20 people and you get 1. Talk to 20, get 1. That's the ratio. We can't change that. People come up to me and they're like, Tommy, I researched online and I found out the majority of people that join network marketing don't profit, don't make money. I said, yep, that's true. And they're like, really? Really, you admit that? Why? I go, because that's the truth for everything. The majority, they were, why? I said, the majority of people quit playing guitar before they made the band. The majority of people quit playing soccer before they made it onto the team that won the World Cup. The majority of people quit figure skating before they became the next Christy Yamaguchi and won the Olympic gold. The majority of people quit swimming before they became a Michael Phelps. You guys with me on that one? In fact, let's just be real, is that more than 50% of marriages end in divorce. The majority of people out there will quit on the person they love and end their marriage, okay? Now, I'm just telling you guys, if people quit that, they quit soccer, they quit hula, they quit baseball, they quit the gym, they quit their diet, and they quit their marriage. How is network marketing or building your own business any different? So that's just the reality. The problem is content versus context, okay? Now, what is that? Content versus context. This is a lesson I had to learn at a very young age. See, content is huge, okay? Becoming an entrepreneur is huge. Learning all the disciplines that you have to be hard on yourself so that life becomes easy. Be easy on yourself, life becomes hard. Time management, learning communication skills, all these things we're going to teach you from today moving on forward. But it's a lot of content. It's not going to happen overnight. Would you agree with me on that? Versus somebody's context. Most people were not taught to become business owners because that's not what the system does. That's not what our education system's goal is. Would you guys agree that multi-millionaires and billionaires talk about different things at their lunch and dinner and breakfast table than you and I did when we were growing up? See, I grew up in a middle-class family, and I loved my mom and dad to death. I loved my grandparents when they're around to death. And I knew that my grandparents and great-grandparents gave the absolute best advice, financial advice, to their kids and gave it to my parents. And my parents gave me their absolute best advice and know-how. And it was relevant back then in the industrial age. Go to school, work hard, get good grades, start off at the bottom or get a degree, a college degree, start off at the bottom, big company and climb up the corporate ladder. You guys remember that? And we are finding out very quickly now that that doesn't work. Those are old age ideas. Those are pre-internet age ideas, okay? And working hard today, just having a degree today is not enough. And the statistics show it. So the problem is that we had people pouring all their content of becoming an entrepreneur and a business owner to somebody that has a very tiny context. They've not been taught to become an entrepreneur, to have self-discipline and all these things. And what happens, it just spills out the side. So that's why they need to watch a video like the one you're watching now. Maybe we found you at a point in your life where you're sick and tired and you're dumbfounded and perplexed at how I worked hard 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 years or more, and I'm still paycheck to paycheck. I'm still frustrated. I still hate my boss. I have 2 jobs and I can't make ends meet. And believe me, I've been there. And we all went through hell and back in a handbasket through a pandemic and all these things. But I'm just here to tell you why, okay? Robert Kiyosaki, maybe some of you guys have heard of him. He talks about something, one of his favorite things called the cash flow quadrant, where there are only 4 ways to make money, okay? It's called E, S, B, and I. Now, the first one is E, where 95% of people exist. It's called employee. And although you can become wealthy being an employee, it is by far the hardest place to become wealthy. Why? Let's discuss that. Robert Kiyosaki says, number 1, because of taxes. You ever heard of the saying, we're born free, but we're taxed to death? And as soon as we earn $1 US, which is devaluing by the day, Uncle Sam comes and snatches out those taxes. And if that's not enough, it's not enough because we don't have any time. Why? Because I'm already working 40 hours a week. Some of you guys overtime. I got to get ready, get a shower, fight traffic, get to work. By the time I finish my job, fight traffic, stop by the grocery store, get home, put dinner on the table, I ain't got any energy. You know what's crazy about that? You have a boss. Your boss is telling you what to do, when to show up. And if you're late, you guys ever have that feeling you're going to be late for work at a job? I don't know. I haven't had a job this century, but I remember what it was like when I was a busboy in a restaurant. You're late for work. You're going to traffic. Your heart's beating fast. You're diving through cars and you're like, oh my God, because your boss will tell you when you got to go, show up, when you can go home. Boss will tell you when you can see your family, what you got to learn, what you got to study. We live in this fear. We live in fear because if we don't show up for work and listen to your boss, you lose your job. Now, some people get sick and tired. They hate their boss. They hate the system so much that they go out and they migrate into the S category. The S category stands for specialist. The S category stands for small business owner. This is also called cycle, man. I know, I own my own restaurant. And instead of working 40 hours a week, well, congratulations, you now get to work 70 to 90 to 100 hours a week. And guess what? You can't call in sick because there's no one to replace you. People can't even find labor today, right? This is not, although you have a much better chance. Why? You have tax privileges. You can write off, you can pay your taxes monthly or quarterly or annually, depending on how much your revenue is. but you have the power of deductions, business expenses. You get taxed on your profit. It's huge. But we've got to get out of this hemisphere or this side. You got to get into the B and the I. What is that? What is that? B and I. B is the big business owner. A big business owner like Microsoft or Apple or United Airlines. The problem with the B business category is that everybody wants to kill you. It's the eat or be eaten category. Typically, it takes hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to open up a B business category. But B business, you can have hundreds, if not thousands, or tens of thousands of employees. More importantly, leverage. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a guy that had 155,000 employees. It's way more now, but at the time I learned it, I'm just going to keep that statistic. And if he goes to work tomorrow or not, he still gets paid. Bill Gates is the guy where if he was walking down the street and 100 grand fell out of his pocket, if he turns around and picks it back up, he lost money. He literally lost money. I know I would be that, but I'm just saying, I'm not like Bill Gates, but I'm just saying, you got to be a big business owner. Why do we like the network marketing direct sales industry? Because for less than nothing, I can sign up in VISI for $49.99 and own a big business. See, guys, a lot of people don't understand this, but I can have as many reps on my team, and VISI will customer service. VISI will handle rep support. VISI will handle the tracking. They handle all that stuff, and we'll continue on this. But the whole goal, guys, is to make money in the E, the S, and the B quadrants, and then put it all into what? The I. I stands for investor, where your money begets money. Your money grows it. So we don't want to work for money. We want money to work for us. And we're going to discuss this now. But how come we never got taught this in school? My mentors taught me, they said, Tom, you paying attention? Tom, you can get one thing, get this. Get these two boxes. I'm going to show you these two boxes. And if anything today, you better get this. Because if you don't get this, two boxes, you will struggle and work hard for the rest of your life until the day you die. No pressure, no pressure. But it's very simple. It is income less expenses. And it is assets versus liability. Income less expenses, assets less liability. Now let's discuss what this is. See, we got taught to go to school, study hard, get good grades, go to college, get a degree, embellish on a resume, apply at all of these places, and congratulations, lo and behold, you land your first job working at Costco, starting $74,000 a year, and then begins the process. Your favorite uncle, Uncle Sam, comes and starts taxing you. You make over 100 grand, you're going to start paying more taxes. You make over $250,000, more taxes. You pay $500,000, it's just a sliding scale. We're going to put you into the highest tax bracket and take 50% of your money or more. Okay. But after that income and after Uncle Sam, it doesn't stop there. What comes next? Rent, mortgage, car payment, gas, food, entertainment, internet, collagen, all of these expenses, right? It ain't cheap anymore, and our expenses are going through the roof. And in the beginning, you have to live within your means, but it is the leftover money at the end of the month. See, some of us don't have money left over at the end of the month, and that's the problem. You have to live within your means. No matter how much money you make. My mentor said, Tommy, act your wage. I'm like, what? Act my age. He goes, no, listen to me, act your wage. See, at the time I met him, it's 2016. We're with another company, another project. That month I had made $54,000 that month. It was the biggest 1 month income I ever had. And I'll be honest with you, I was feeling pretty level 10 high right there. We were like popping bottles in the clubs. We were acting all crazy, eating some ridiculous A5 Wagyu beef and stuff. But he says, you better not spend 1 cent. I'm like, what? Why? Because he said, hey, you guys starting to make some money now, huh? I go, not bad. He says, you better not spend 1 cent. Want to know why? I was like, why? He goes, because you don't know what it's like to have money in your bank account. And I was like, you're right. We had been living paycheck to paycheck, never know a job, but all the money we're just blowing it because it kept showing up in our bank account every month. We had no financial intelligence. Because since that's that leftover money of what you do at the end of the month, that's the important decision. It's called WC. What is WC? Working capital. And I said, what do you mean working capital? I don't have any extra money at the end of the month leading up to that. He says, it doesn't matter if it's $5 or $50 or $500. It's what you do with that money. See, some people, maybe they're not that rich, maybe they're not struggling, but they're complaining and they still go to Starbucks. Oh, I got drilled so hard holding my caramel macchiato. He says, Tommy, only rich people go to Starbucks. It blows my mind how people go to Starbucks and they spend $5, $6, $7 on your venti caramel macchiato. And you ain't even a multi-millionaire. You better be a millionaire, multi-millionaire. You want to go to Starbucks. I'm like, what? Because think about it. It's a scam. $5 a day, right? Harmless. Caramel macchiato, $7 a day. $5 a day, 5 days a week. That's $25 a week. 4 weeks a month. That's $100 a month. That is $1,200 a year. Do you guys understand if I showed up on New Year's Eve and I said, New Year's resolution, caffeine is bad for you? Here's $1,200. Invest it. Be healthier, drink water, or at least make the coffee at home. It costs 20 cents. But don't buy Starbucks. Only rich people buy Starbucks. What if you tucked away 12? Some of you guys, 1,200, that's a small number. You drink coffee twice a day, 7 days a week. It's more like $50 a week. It's more like $200 a month in caffeine that the acidic is bad for you. What are you, crazy? Guys, what if you put $200 a month? So he said, you need to go out there and build something called an asset. Well, what is an asset? Most people say, my house. My house is an asset. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, real estate can be an asset. But if the bank owns your house and you are paying a mortgage and it is not positive cash flow property, that is not an asset. That is a liability. See, mortgage is Latin root, mortgage. Mortgage. Mortality. Tuta. Gauge. Engage. To participate in. A mortgage is a debt contract. You don't believe me? Go look it up. French root. It means to participate until the end. It is a debt contract. And we got taught, go to school, get good grades, right? We hook up with a significant other. Now you move in together, you get engaged, you get 2 income, 1 rent, and you like save up money for a down payment. First time homeowners, everyone's so excited. You're sitting there with the realtor, here, sign your DROA, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, we're so excited. We're gonna be homeowners. But what they don't realize is that the trap is that for the next 30 years, they put a barbed wire fence around this employee quadrant, like barbed wire fence. Why? Because what's your income? Without the income, you can't pay your mortgage. You can't pay your mortgage, your kids are on the street. And then we fill up the house with furniture, 0% interest for 3 years. And next thing you know, there's more eating out of your working capital, right? I'm not saying you can't live or not get a mortgage. I'm just saying you need to understand what it is. Because now we're trapped for the next 30 years paying off that mortgage. An asset is something that adds money to your bank account every single month without you doing nothing. A liability is something that takes away money from your bank account without doing nothing. So children, kids, what are kids? An asset or a liability? Kids are a liability. All they do is eat and outgrow their clothes and break their arm and tuition. And we love kids, but I'm just saying, let's call it what it is. Kids are a massive liability. Okay? So all we've got to do is understand we've got to get good at building an asset and understanding what an asset is. Why do we build VISI? Why would I buy an NFT? Why? Why would I get into Forex? Why would I build a VISI team? Because every customer I get, or if I get an NFT, 60 days later, it starts kicking out reflections. It's just adding money into my bank account. Is there a break-even point? Yeah, it's about 1 year, but it keeps on coming for 36 months. What happens when that Ethereum, which I turn into cash, starts building up? Your asset column starts growing. So if you take all your assets minus all your liabilities, in the beginning, you might be upside down like here, day one right now. But if we keep on getting NFTs, if we keep on building Forex accounts, if we keep on building a team, a customer base, a residual income inside, eventually your asset column is going to outweigh your liability column. What do we call that? Money that's left over. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called income. Where does income go? Income goes, now you don't make $74,000 a year, you make $84,000 a year. What do we do with that? We have the same expenses. Do we increase our income? Do we start eating crazier food? No, stay exactly where you are, act your wage, but you're going to have more working capital. What do we do with that working capital? We get more NFTs. We put more money into Forex or whatever you have, and you start having the same liability. You have more income. Now you make $115,000 a year, but you have the same expenses, build more assets, same liabilities. Now you make $200,000 a year. Now you can change your lifestyle. You guys get it? Some people will go out there and buy the new car, 50 grand, 70 grand. What if you put that 50, 70 grand into NFTs and all of the reflections that came out pays for the car and then some? You guys see what we're doing here? See, the problem is we got tricked. I'm going to tell you guys a story right now. It's my favorite story. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it a lot. It's the bucket story. And the bucket story is about a village. And this village lived near a river, but it's 10 miles away, 10 miles from the river, the water source, to the village. And the villagers were sick and tired of carrying buckets every day to the water source and bring it back to the village to fill up the well and so that they could wash their clothes and cook food. So they said, you know what, screw this already. Our village is big enough. We're going to just pull together and hire and give 2 contracts. Okay, so there's competition. And they're just going to handle the water. We'll buy the water. Well, the first guy went out, won one of the contracts, and he immediately got some buckets, you know, the kind of bucket on a stick. And he started going back and forth 10 miles to the river and back and filling up the village well with water and selling it for money. And he started profiting. And the second guy disappeared for a long time. Like he's gone. So the guy, the bucket guy was like, huh? Where did the other guy go? He's an idiot. I have no competition. I can charge whatever I want for the water. And he starts making money hand over fist. He goes out and buys a house. You know, he's married, he's got kids, and it's like a year and a half goes by. Finally, the second guy shows up back in town. He's like, dude, where were you? I've been making money this whole time. This is the best business ever. Everyone needs water. And I have no competition. Well, you had one of 2 contracts. The guy said, well, I have this idea where I wanted to build a 10-mile stainless steel pipeline with a pump on it, but I don't have any money. So I spent the last almost 2 years developing a business plan, and then I had to get investors, and then we got the investment money together, and then we had to go and get the permits and then with the city, and then, you know, it took a lot, and it's just a lot of planning. But hey, we're going to break ground tomorrow. And the guy's like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm making money this whole time. You're spending money. You wasted all this time. So the pipeline guy starts building the pipeline, and it takes them a whole another year to build the pipeline 10 miles. And it's along the same path that this guy's walking with the bucket. So every time he passes by, he's like, you're an idiot. You're a dumbass. I'm making money, you're spending money. Let me know when your delusions of grandeur paid through, right? And the guy pays no mind. He ignores the negative, toxic guy. And what happens at the end of 1 year? He completes the pipeline. He turns on the pump, and guess what? bing, his water starts flowing into the village 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No buckets. And because it's a pipeline, his water was cleaner, it was cheaper, and it was better. This guy's buckets had rocks in it. So he started buying lids for his buckets. He started, trying to compete. And because nobody would buy his water, he had to drop the price of his water by 60%. And then he couldn't pay his bill. So his sons had to start working and carrying buckets too. Back-breaking work all day just to pay the bills. And when his sons went off to college, he said, hurry home, boys. Because one day, this bucket business is going to be all yours. And for some reason, they never came back. And this guy died alone in his house, working his whole life carrying buckets with back-breaking work. But the guy who had the pipeline had free time. And he lived in his mansion with his family and spent all his life with his family and traveling the world. Because even if they traveled the world, the pipeline was still flowing. My question to you is, where did you get your advice from? Did your parents teach you how to work hard, 8 hours a day, go back and forth to work and back, working hard, carrying buckets? Or did your parents teach you how to build pipelines and residual income? See, there's a big difference, guys, between VISI and a traditional business. See, when it comes to a traditional business, does a traditional business cost money to start? Heck yeah. How much money does it cost to start a VISI business? $49. How much does it cost for you to start creating your first residual? Something that's going to add money to your bank account every month without sucking up your time. Residual means work hard one time, keep getting paid for it over and over again. That, guys, is $2,500 plus tax. That is starting up your Forex account. We recommend with $2,500, so it makes more than $109 a month. If you average up to 9%, you're making more than 109 a month. That's why we say start with them. And you can start creating a nest egg, a residual source, and start hacking away at your expenses. Does that make sense? So is it going to take time? Yes, it's going to take time to build your VISI business, but does it take time to build any business? Yeah. A McDonald's costs $1.5 million. You have to have one to get one. How many cheeseburgers and Happy Meals do you got to sell at a profit to make back $1.5 million plus interest before you realize $1 in profit? But people do it all day. Why? Because they have long-term thinking. They're a business owner. They understand it takes money to make money and it takes time. Is it going to take training? Do we need training? Yes. I don't care what business you do, what trade. It's going to take some technical training. But if besides, do we have training? Yeah. The difference is, how much did it cost you to be on this Zoom call today? It cost me 29 years of my life rubbing elbows with multimillionaires and 7 billionaires to get this exact information. I didn't make this stuff up. I gathered this stuff from multimillionaires and billionaires, and we're giving it to you for the electricity it costs to charge your phone and your Verizon service. Good deal? Yeah. Why? You're part of a family and a team that would happily give this to you, because the more money you make, the more success you make, the better our team makes. So I'm just here to tell you the biggest difference, though. You want to know the difference? If you want to increase your revenue for a traditional business, you must also increase your overhead. Big, big, big. See, our friend Cheryl Michioka, she owns Mokihana Travel. If her travel business was growing and blowing up out of control, in order for her to increase her revenue, she would probably have to buy another desk, buy another computer, hire another agent, train the agent, advertise more, and to take on and make more revenue. In other words, if there was a gas station and they were full, line out the door, and they're like, we need to pump gas faster. They need to dig a hole in the ground, add another tank, put another pump, extend the roof out, and now they can service more gas customers. In the world of business, traditionally, you have to increase your overhead to increase your revenue. In this $49 business, $49 business. It doesn't matter if I have 0 partners on my team, 0 customers. If I have 5 customers, 5 partners. If I have 5,000 customers, 5 partners, it still costs me $49. You get it? This is the most amazing business in the world. And finally, in conclusion, there's a guy named Bill Bartman. If you don't know who Bill Bartman is, he's a multi-billionaire. He makes the Forbes top 400 every single year. And I'm going to give you guys a pearl of wisdom that was not just given to my mentor. It took him a long time to squeeze it out of him. But there are three things that billionaires look for in a business. There are three things that they're constantly sought after. Do you want to know what they are? Are you paying attention still? The first one is called UVA. Undervalued asset. What is an undervalued asset? If I had a $20,000 Rolex and I tell you, I'll sell it to you right now for 10 grand, would you buy it? In a heartbeat. If I told you $20,000 Rolex, I'll sell it to you for 5 grand right now. But you got to come up with the money in 24 hours. Even if you didn't have the 5 grand, how many of you guys find the 5 grand tomorrow? Why? Because it's an undervalued asset. I'll go borrow the 5 grand. I'll go get 5 people to loan me $1,000, buy the watch, sell it the next day for 10 grand. It's worth 20. Everybody doubles their money, or pay back those guys and you make 5 grand. God, it's a no-brainer, right? Undervalued asset, whether it's a car, real estate. When this recession hits, there's going to be a lot of people defaulting, and people are going to be giving up their properties, their cars, their jewelry. I mean, it's going to be insane. And the wealthy people who are cash rich were waiting around for 10 years for this, and they buy it pennies on the dollar, undervalued assets, and they 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x their wealth, whether it's businesses, real estate, or cars, or gold. The next thing they're looking for is residual. What can I do today? What can I do today? What can I put effort, energy, devote time into where I can apply effort once, put resource once, and keep getting compensated over and over again? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the bucket story. That's residual income. And the last one is compounding. Compounding is something Einstein called it like the 10th wonder of the world, or right? Eighth wonder of the world. Compounding interest is mind-blowing. Compounding, you guys heard of that story where you could take a piece of paper and double it 50 times. If I folded it, that's double once. If I folded it again in half, that's twice. If I did it 3 times, 4 times. If you could fold a piece of paper 50 times, it's not possible. If you could, look this up on Google. The thickness of that, just doubling a sheet of paper 50 times, will go here 3/4 of the way to the sun. If you could fold it 51 times somehow, it would go from here to the sun and halfway back to planet Earth. That is the power of 2. Why do we have a hybrid binary system? Here's me, and I get in, I'm active, and I find one on the left, one on the right, and I'm qualified. That's called times 2. So many people are like, how are you going to retire early? How are you going to open up all these countries? How are you going to make the kind of comma checks or 7-figure income? I said, I know we're going to do it. Why? Because all I got to do is master the process of compounding, and getting in, active, and qualified is times 2. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096, 8000, 16,000, 32,000, 64,000. Guys, all it's going to take is time. How much does it cost me? $49. If it takes me more than a year, $25 renewal fee every year. How hard is it to profit from that? All I want to know is who's going to follow us. If you guys are wondering why we're signing up multi-millionaires in our team, is because we're not 1, we're not 2, we're not 3, we are a triple play. VISI is a triple play. And guess what? Do they teach this to you in high school? Do they teach this to you in college? If there was Wealth 101, 102, I would have taken both classes. The problem is we need to listen to multi-millionaires and billionaires, stop listening to broke people, and ask, where do we get our advice from? And I promise you guys, you are going to see the value in VISI and why we do what we do. So you don't need to give up. You need to give up first time in trouble. You need to stick with it, because what's harder than that is spending an entire lifetime in the employee quadrant. working hard for somebody else, building somebody else's company. They pay us enough ducats to keep us there. We work just hard enough so that they don't fire us, right? We work just hard enough so they don't fire us, right? And that's sad. They pay us just enough money to keep us there so we don't quit. It's a sick relationship, guys. There's no incentive. So I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm not saying get rid of your kids. What I'm saying, let's go build some assets together. Does this help you guys a lot? I hope it does. And this is going to conclude our mindset training for today. But let me ask you a question. If somebody just saw and paid attention to what I just shared with you, that took me 29 years to put this one board together. Don't you think their context would have increased just a little bit so that they could retain some of this asset, residual compounding, undervalued asset information, 100%. And that is why today is special. And I hope you guys share this training with everyone. Okay.